All right, real talk. How many times have you heard someone say, stop buying coffee and you'll be rich?
Oh, only about 1,000 times, usually from someone who bought a house in 1987 for $40,000 and acts like that's still relevant advice.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we're getting into today. Because some of the most repeated money rules out there, the ones everybody just accepts as gospel, are actually wrong. Like, not just outdated, actually harmful.
Which is a bold statement, but we can back it up.
We absolutely can. We've got 5 of them today. And I promise by the end of this, you're going to feel a lot less guilty about at least one financial decision you've been beating yourself up over.
Let's start with the big one, the one that launched 1,000 personal finance books.
The latte.
The sacred latte.
So the argument goes like this. You spend $6 a day on coffee. That's over $2,000 a year. Stop buying coffee, invest that money, and over 30 years, you'll have $100,000.
And the math is technically correct.
The math is technically correct. But here's the problem. It's focusing your attention on one of the absolute smallest levers in your entire financial life.
Right. If you're earning $45,000 a year and struggling to save, your coffee is not the reason.
Not even close. The reason might be that you're under-earning by $15,000 compared to what your skills are actually worth. The reason might be that you're paying $200 too much per month on a car you didn't need. The reason might be that your savings are sitting in a bank account earning basically 0 interest.
And meanwhile, you're standing in line at the coffee shop doing math and feeling guilty about a $6 purchase.
Which is exactly what bad financial advice does. It turns money management into an exercise in deprivation instead of optimization.
So what's the actual takeaway here?
Fix the big stuff first. The forgotten subscriptions, the overpriced insurance, the savings account earning nothing. Sort all of that out, and then drink your coffee without a single ounce of guilt.
I will be doing that this morning, personally.
As you should. Okay, rule number 2. And this one might actually start some arguments.
Good. Arguments mean engagement.
Renting is throwing money away.
Oh, this one. This one I have feelings about.
Everybody has feelings about it. Because everybody has heard it from a parent, a grandparent, an uncle at Thanksgiving who bought a house in a random suburb and acts like he's Warren Buffett.
You're just paying someone else's mortgage, Jordan.
Right. And look, we're not saying homeownership is bad. Under the right conditions, at the right time, in the right market, buying a home is a brilliant financial move.
But the blanket statement that renting is wasted money, that falls apart the second you look at the real numbers.
Because people always forget to include the actual cost of owning. Property taxes, homeowners insurance, maintenance, which typically runs about 1% of your home's value per year. So on a $350,000 home, that's $3,500 a year just keeping the thing from falling apart.
And then closing costs when you buy, which can be 2 to 5% of the purchase price, and closing costs again when you sell.
Add it all up and compare it honestly to renting, especially in any major city, and renting often wins financially for the first 5 to 7 years of ownership.
Economists at serious institutions have run these numbers repeatedly. This isn't a controversial finding in academic finance. It's pretty well established.
And then there's the thing nobody puts a dollar value on: flexibility.
Which is huge when you're young.
The ability to move for a better job opportunity, to move for a relationship, to try a new city. That flexibility has real economic value that nobody accounts for when they're telling you to stop throwing money away on rent.
So the takeaway is, run your own numbers. Don't let a cultural narrative make a major financial decision for you.
Exactly. Okay, rule number 3. And this one is genuinely costing people a lot of money.
Always pay off debt before you invest.
Always pay off debt before you invest. Sounds so logical. It's repeated constantly. And it's wrong, or at least wildly oversimplified.
The issue is that it treats all debt the same, and all debt is absolutely not the same.
If you're carrying credit card debt at 24% interest, pay that off aggressively before you invest in anything. Nothing in a standard investment portfolio reliably returns 24%.
Hard agree. High interest debt is a financial emergency. Treat it like one.
But what about a student loan at 4.5%, a car loan at 3%, a mortgage at 6%?
Meanwhile, the S&P 500 has averaged around 10% annually over long periods of time.
So if your debt is costing you 4% and your investments are earning you 10%, paying off the debt instead of investing is literally costing you 6% every single year.
And you never get those years back. Compound growth is ruthless in both directions. It works for you when you invest early. It works against you when you delay.
The real rule is, look at the interest rate. Anything above 7 or 8%, pay it down hard. Anything below that, strongly consider investing at the same time.
And especially if your employer offers a 401k match, because a 100% match is a 100% return. There is no debt payoff that beats that.
None. Okay, number 4. And this one I feel like is genuinely well-intentioned, but has become a trap.
The 6-month emergency fund rule.
The 6-month emergency fund rule. Before you do anything with your money, before you invest, before you do anything, you need 6 months of living expenses saved in cash.
And to be clear, emergency funds are real and important. We are not saying don't have one.
Absolutely not. Emergency funds exist for a real reason, and everyone should have one.
But the 6 months figure has become this universal standard that ignores one crucial variable.
Your actual situation.
Right. A 23-year-old with no kids, no mortgage, a marketable skill, and the option to move back home temporarily if disaster struck, their real emergency fund might be $2,000 to $4,000. That's it, because their actual downside risk is low.
Versus a 35-year-old with 2 kids, a mortgage, and a very specialized job in a volatile industry, yeah, maybe 6 months or more makes total sense.
So where does the harm come in?
The harm comes in when a young person hears 6 months, does the math, realizes that's $18,000, and spends 2 or 3 years saving that before investing a single dollar.
And during those 2 or 3 years, the market might have returned 20 or 30%. That's real money that is permanently gone.
So what we'd suggest is this. Build a starter emergency fund quickly, $1,000 to $2,000. Then start investing. Build the rest of the fund slowly alongside your investments. Don't let a one-size-fits-all rule put your entire financial future on pause.
Size the fund to your life, not to a generic guideline that was written for someone else.
Okay, last one. And this might be the most controversial thing we say today.
Hit him with it.
A budget will fix your finances.
Ooh.
The budget, the most sacred tool in all of personal finance.
Okay, so before people close the app, we're not saying tracking your money is bad.
Not at all. Awareness of your spending is genuinely valuable.
But the idea that sitting down, making a detailed budget, and sticking to it is the primary solution for most people's money problems, the data doesn't really support that.
Studies consistently show that the majority of people who create a budget abandon it within 90 days, and a meaningful percentage end up worse off afterwards.
Because of something behavioral psychologists call the what the hell effect.
Which is exactly what it sounds like. You blow your food budget by $30 on Tuesday, you feel guilty, you think, well, the month is already ruined, and then you spend another $200.
The budget didn't prevent the overspending. It actually created the mental condition that caused more of it.
And look, for some people, budgeting works beautifully. If you're someone who loves spreadsheets, loves tracking, finds it motivating, keep doing it, seriously.
But if you've tried budgeting and it's never stuck, you are not broken. The tool might just be wrong for how your brain works.
Because there's another approach that works better for most people, and that's automation.
Pay yourself first automatically before you can spend it.
Set up automatic transfers to savings and investments the day that paid. Whatever's left after that, spend freely. No tracking required, no guilt, no what the hell moments.
The goal of a budget is to make sure the right amount of money goes to the right places. Automation achieves that goal better, more consistently, and with zero willpower involved.
And willpower is a resource that runs out. Systems don't.
All right, let's bring it home. 5 rules, all wrong, or at least way more complicated than they're presented.
Cut your daily coffee. Fix the big levers first. The small ones are a distraction. Renting is throwing money away. The math often says otherwise, especially early in life. Always pay off debt before investing. Look at the interest rate, not just the word debt. You need 6 months in emergency savings before anything else. Size it to your actual risk, not a generic number. And a budget will fix your finances. Automation beats willpower every single time.
The bigger lesson underneath all of this is that most money advice was written for a different generation, a different economy, and a different set of circumstances than what most people listening to this are actually living.
You don't have to throw it all away, but you do have to think critically about who it was written for before you decide to follow it.
Your financial life is not a template. It's yours, and the rules should fit your life, not the other way around.
If something we said today changed how you think about any of this, share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. That's genuinely the best thing you can do to support what we're building here.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.